Okay, now can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Date.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So now that I have the audio taken care of, unfortunately I cannot have the chat displayed on the side. Hey, Date, you wouldn't mind saying about that? I guess I'm just gonna go out of the tavern real quick. Hello everybody, it's Gaming with Twins. Today I would have liked to do the stream on my computer, that way I would draw, but alas, we have not gotten to that point yet, so we will still continue to stream via video games. At least the games we play. It gives you a little bit of, let's say, insight as to what kind of games we like to play. So there's that. The game that I'm playing right now is called Dragon's Crown, and it's basically the best way to describe it, a side-scroller beat-em-up D&D game. And you get to create your characters as the elf archer, the dwarf fighter, the dwarf warrior, the knight, the sorcerer, the witch and the wizard, and the Amazon. I'm not going to spoil too much of the game for you in case you wanted to get it. This is the game that I'm playing right now. But, so this is a Q&A. So what is the Q&A going to be about? Basically anything involving the works that you've seen us do on our channel. So most of the works that we've done, both of us, include the Alatreon reaction video, the Fatalis reaction video, the Deserving of Life Hollow Knight animated music video. There was the Two Loners That Found Each Other, and many more on our channel that that we posted over the, I believe, course of the months, or even 2 years since we started to pick up our channel. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask us about how we animate or the techniques used. Now, if you don't know what to ask us, feel free to check out some of the videos that we've posted. You could have a quick look. You don't have to watch it all the way. You could just skim through it, see certain parts of the video that got your interest before coming back to the stream and asking the questions. Now Deja would have been here during the stream, but unfortunately she had her wisdom tooth removed today. We did not foresee that, and she cannot talk too well, so I will be speaking on behalf of myself, because we're twins. I have my opinions on things and she has her way of doing things, so maybe sometime in the future when she's feeling better that she could give her opinions on some of the questions that you've asked me, or maybe her variants of the questions that you asked me. So if you are wondering why it's just me today, yeah, Deja's not feeling too well. Okay. The chat.
Welcome to What Would You Like?
So, in the meantime, until I get some strong drought. Until I get some questions to ask, I will answer some questions to the best of my ability. To the best of my ability for right now. Alright, so let's go. I am still forgive me because I'm still getting used to streaming on our new device. It's kind of a doozy, so to speak. So let me see what I'm doing today. Do not have any talisman. I am on hard difficulty. Time for me to. This is my opportunity to beat the game with other characters. I am good with the elf. Don't get me wrong, 'cause he's my favorite character to play as. I love archery. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. I do want to see this guy's ending. I do want to see this guy's story ending. So, I'm going to play as the fighter for now.
You need the 9 talismans to defeat the ancient dragon.
Let me have join on. So, join is on. OG3. If you're wondering who named this character, it was a cousin of ours. He named the character. And I'm playing this character because he lives in Atlanta. When we get a chance to play again, maybe, and emphasis on maybe, we may stream again with him. Ooh, snap, did not mean to throw it. Alright. See, just trying to make sure I'm ready before I go out that door. Okay. No. Let's see. I think it would be best if I went to the stables. No, I'm not gonna go on the stables. Okay, I guess I'll just have to. But then again, going to the stables use a lot of money. That's cheaper this way. Forgotten Sanctuary.
In the Age of the Gods, mankind built a giant tower in a sacred place in an attempt to reach the world of the gods.
Oh no,
That
drop my sword.
arrogance angered the
Pick it up.
gods, and it is said that the entire city was leveled.
All that uppercut. We have a witch joining our group. But while this stream is taking place, you know, our inspirations regarding whenever we animate and whenever we come up with ideas. So, in case somebody is wondering, why Hollow Knight? Like, why pick Hollow Knight to be our first video? Believe it or not, what actually encouraged us to do Hollow Knight, the Umu fight, was because the design is, well, pretty simplistic. And not only is it pretty simplistic, but of course Kroll is our favorite character. And we wanted to find a way that we could make both characters the ghosts and Kroll probably shine in their own way. Granted, you know, it seemed like in the video I've heard from many people that Kroll shown the most in the video alone, and that it just seemed like the ghost was just there, but it's because Deja gave her input that she wanted the fight to be based off of how she felt when she was fighting Umu for the very first time. So, in a way, the reason why the ghost was kind of like the second fiddle in the animation was because, unfortunately for Deja, when she was starting the game, it just was not done too well, you know, in regarding her skill at the time. Because, of course, when you first fight Umu, you don't know that Kroll needs to be there, so you're just going around whacking at this jellyfish, hoping that, you know, somehow an opening will happen and that you could actually start damaging this thing. And then lo and behold, Quill comes in and he saves the day, and he kind of gives your character that opening to be able to take out Umu. So the animation itself was kind of a reflection on how my sister Deja felt when she was playing the game. Another thing about the fights is that we've mentioned before is that we originally planned it ahead, I believe in the year 2018, in which we would, finish the animation. But a lot of things happened between then, which in another video, if somebody's, curious enough to want to know what really took place between that time, then we wouldn't mind giving an explanation. We don't have anything really to hide. The only reason why I'm not going to give one now is because it's not asked for. So feel free to ask us anything. The next animation that we worked on after the Umu fight was, I believe, Deserving of Life, featuring Ghost, or at least not Ghost, but the Hollow Knight. I feel a little bit bad because I know a lot of people was expecting the Hollow Knight, but Deja had an idea that she wanted to do an animated music video regarding the Hollow Knight, and I like the idea. It's just that I wanted to know if it would be, something that you guys would want. So the next time, if you guys want maybe like an animated music video of something, or at least if you want to see more of them, don't be afraid to ask us in the future. We're open for that type of thing, to at least try and experiment and come up with new ideas to improve our animation. Let's see. So, what inspired Deja to do that? Oh, hello Tony Society. Yeah, this is a Q&A regarding our channel with our animation. So if you want to have a few questions answered, don't be afraid to ask. Most of it's, it's nice to see you doing well. I'm hoping that you're doing better than we are right now. Oh my god, the sacrifices in between animations has been... Oh, what's next? So, I had planned an animation, or at least an animation skit. I'm not going to spoil too much. But if you play Hollow Knight, it was an animation skit starring either two favorite characters, either Cloth or Grimm, Nightmare King Grimm, or regular Grimm, whichever one. And of course, I'm going to have my sister help me out with that, but that's what I have planned next. And the third one after that, it regards the animation that she's currently working on, that she has not quite finished yet. That's what we have. We actually have a schedule of things that we are planning on animating in the future. The only problem is, yeah, we have a list of things that we're animating in the future. And so far, the only two things that are on the list right now, where is my storage? There it is. But the two things that are on the list is something involving Cloth or Nightmare King Grimm. Those are the two that we're planning on animating in the future. Or at least near future. So yeah, anticipate that. But we're not going to spoil what it is yet. One of the things I might as well address, because, I can't sleep at night whenever I think of this, but I might as well say it pains me to go long moments of, we animate something and then it takes a minute and then we come out with something else and such. A lot of things have been happening in the time between when we start animating it and then we always get close to the finish line, and the next thing you know, we get hit with something unexpected. So there was this one animation that we were literally nearly close to finishing, but then something unexpected happened. I'm trying to remember which animation it was, because it was one of the animations that I was very proud of that was on our channel. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Deserving of Life one. It wasn't.
Unfortunately,
Stinging attention to
demon then appeared.
Yes, definitely. Oh, definitely. I always like to improve. We always try to make things better than our first animation. If you looked at the Alatreon animation, I looked back at that video and I visibly cringed because, I realized the quality could have been a lot better and the movement could have been a lot better. Even how we go about compositing the animation, and script writing, and even the backgrounds, I look at it and I'm thinking that could have been a whole lot better. But in regards to the other video that made me slightly proud was the Umi fight. But again, it was the craft and the consistency with both of our animations that really made me cringe, because I'm thinking, okay, it was better than the last one, but it could be better. And the one that I was a little bit more proud of was the Fatalis Arrival animation, only because we actually experimented with some effects with the swirls and such. But again, I cringe when I look at it now, because I'm thinking it could have been done a whole lot better. So we always try to up the ante with our animation to make sure that it looks better than the last one. I'm getting a bunch of practice in, or at least trying to get a bunch of practice in, to make sure that we are able to, you know, not sell you guys short. I think you guys deserve the best animation for sticking around as long as you guys did, and I thank you all for that. Let's see. So, now, if you've noticed, in the Umi fight battle, it was basically me and my sister working on that one together. But the other animations after that, such as the
Demon King's resurrection and
Hollow
assisted in
Knight
defeating his top
AMV
demon, the
or the
Archdemon.
Hollow Knight music
The
video,
Town Temple
that
will
one looked a whole
certainly
lot more
inscribe your name
consistent
as
than
a
the others
savior,
in the
to be
past.
remembered
That was
throughout the
because
ages.
Deja worked on those alone, like the Hollow Knight music video, the Grim
These are the ruins
Child,
of the
the
ancient capital city.
what was the one that she's making right now. The reason why they're probably going to be a whole lot more consistent now is because Deja's the only one working on it, and she's been a trooper working on a whole animation all by herself, which I regret. But it's a sacrifice that I have to make, because one of us has to be the one working, and that's why I haven't been animating as of late as much as I would like. But it's a sad sacrifice, but because, you know, my skill says animation has been hindered because of this, but it's more so because one of us has to, you know, be resourceful for our incomes, is to make sure that we aren't starving artists. And she's actually doing a great job, because she has more time to animate. She could actually get done with a great deal of animation in a day. The problem is she has OCD, so if she works on a bit of animation, she will start over. Like, I've seen her throw away in tons of files regarding animation because she didn't like how it looked.
Tomet is surprised by the sudden... The red dragon... Which path will you...
So, regarding the process that we're using is
reeks of sulfur.
traditional frame-by-frame animation. I know it's not necessarily resourceful, especially if you got a time crunch or if you have a deadline that you want to do for the animation. Like, let's say if we wanted to get an animation done for, you know, every week, frame-by-frame probably would not be useful unless we were making 30-second videos. But the only reason why we stick to this method of animating is mainly because we were not taught in Flash, and we were not taught in a better way. But we are learning how to do Flash animation from another animator on what was this channel? I am taking classes from him. I'm not sponsoring him, but I might as well give him a shout out. Howard Hemsworth. He's a great animator that I take you know, lessons from. Believe it or not, before we did the Hollow Knight animation video, we actually were not taking, you know, his classes yet. It wasn't until after we started taking his classes, or at least looking at his videos, that we started to make some improvement. Not as much as improvement that I would like, but, you know, it's better than before when the craft was all over the place. So, it's a process, but, you know, I'm happy of the progress that we've made so far. Now, one of the things that I do wish to grow on in the future is the ability to be able to be consistent with my sister's art style in terms of animating, because that's the only reason why, you know, these things take so long, is because, well, we aren't consistent together. Like, I'll probably have a roughed out version of, say, Coral and Umu, which you've seen in the Coral and Umu fight, because it was kind of like the differences in our art style was jarring. Have we ever gotten jealous? And how do we control it? Okay. One, I always say, and one just a bit of advice, but don't, you know, don't get discouraged when you see other people's work. You know, as far as we're concerned, you know, it's, look at it as a way of, you know, being inspired. You know, don't get, you know, discouraged from doing it. Like, it's easy to fall into that jealous pit, but we gotta remember is that, you know, you need to try a whole lot more. I'm not saying you're not trying enough. Yeah, you gotta be your own artist. You're not trying to copy everybody or be like everybody. Like, Terminal Montage. He is a funny, hilarious animator, and he does his own style. Now, I'm not saying he's bad at drawing. No, he draws these characters and with these funny little skits with, you know, a quality that's very simplistic and such, and it's very creative. It's just anybody could probably, you know, do well at animating, you know, with the resources that they have. It may not look like everybody else's art, but if it tells a story, which is what we animators do, then you did accomplish something in that.
You and your party gather around the campfire.
So have I ever been jealous?
For you will need to be
in a way, when I was younger, I actually did get jealous a lot. I was actually jealous of my sister's work because, you know, she was, I remember what was the grade it was in. We were in, I believe it was, and this was the worst grade for us, by the way. I believe it was 5th grade when she started to actually, you know, be really good at anatomy. She was good at, let's see. It's just that her drawings looked a whole lot better than mine by comparison. And I was just upset about that because I'm thinking, well, geez, how am I ever going to compare? But what I was able to do is I was able to allow her to teach me. So I watched her so I could learn how to, instead of getting mad and upset that she was doing better than me, I was just willing to swallow my pride and just say, hey, can you show me how to do this? Of course, she was more than happy to. She was just really harsh to teach her. And I was kind of, I get discouraged a bit because, you know, she would be showing me how to do it, and she does it so immaculate the first time around, but then when I can't emulate it, I get frustrated. Don't get frustrated, you know, it's easy to, but, you know, it's easy to get frustrated, but at the end of the day, you know, you're not going to make the perfect animation or the perfect drawing the first time around. It just really, really takes practice. And you will have those moments where you get discouraged and say, well, why should I even try to continue animating if, you know, it doesn't seem like I'm improving. But really, if your picture looks better than the last picture you drew, then yes, you are improving. It may not seem that way, but you are improving. If you've learned something from the last picture that you drew, then in a way, you are improving. Like, let's say you were bad at anatomy, but then you seem to have improved on anatomy in the next picture or in the next animation, you know, it looked a little bit better. Trust me. You know, the whole point of, you know, looking at other people's art is to get inspired. And that's what other people, when they make their art, hope that they do. Or at least some people do it for money, some people do it for their purposes. But we just hope that, you know, you can look at our art and just, you know, learn a thing or two. Yeah, that jealousy, yeah, it will pass eventually. Trust me, it will. And it may turn into admiration. And there is a saying called imitation is a form of flattery. I understand it's easy to be inspired, you know, by other people's art, but remember, you gotta come up with your own way of drawing it. Now, if you're working in a business, like if you plan on, say, working with Disney or with, say, any CalArt Studios, then yeah, you're gonna probably have to learn how to emulate how other people draw. Like, let's say they're working on an animation and they have to draw, like, I don't know, maybe a dragon, and that dragon has to look consistent throughout, you know, this whole series. So they can't have somebody draw it one way and then it's drawn another way. That's the only time I could actually see consistent drawing really needed, is definitely in the industry. But even with me and my sister right now, we actually have to try and be consistent, and that will take a while. We'll cross the line when we get there. But for the time being, yeah, it's like, let's see. Again, look at MTA Productions. There are other animators that we watch too, and Terminal Montage we watch, and we love their work as well. Another animator that I adore watching is Howard Hemsworth, because again, I learned most of the new techniques from his videos alone. I'm not sponsoring, but you know, I'm just giving credit where credit is due. There's another animator that we watch oh yeah, Beatbox Rap Battle. I love looking at his animations. They're fun to watch as well. Let's see, because I have a lot of people that I take reference from. Let me check my channel real quick, my subscriptions, because I have a subscriptions full of animators that I watch. Let's see. There's a bunch of animators that I adore and such. Let's see. Where is... Oh, Agent Mystery Meat, who did the video with Broly, Chi-Chi. It's that fan-made Dragon Ball Z video. Oh, this is a returning subscriber. It's nice to see you again. I remember. I haven't forgotten in 2015. Definitely not. But it was... I'm sorry, 2015 was... It was a starting point for our channel. It's kind of strange that we went from actually attempting to do a gaming channel, but let's... Hold on. Let's see. One moment real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Looking at my... Hold on. I see you.
Seems to have abandoned his experimentation and run off.
It's good to see you watching on stream. Is Winters. Anthony, sorry. Alright. Sorry. But, let's see. I'm sorry, trying to stay focused. Well, not focused on the gameplay, but focused on the kinds of, questions and such. Now,
floorboards are creaking loudly. They feel as if you
I see. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bring up your old name. We miss you as well. But please be sure to ask questions during the stream. How have we been doing? Well, yeah, I believe I already answered that, but for the most part, attempting to make an animated film regarding Hollow Knight. At least, I've still been arguing with Deja about this, but we planned on actually doing more with that little Hollow Knight skit that we were working on. We planned on probably turning it into something big like... Now, I want to make it a little mini-series. They just said that we probably can't do that. I don't know why, but, you know, that's what she says. I think if anybody really wants us to have a mini-series of, let's say, Hollow Knight, or at least those two fan characters that we saw in the skit.
Unable to move around in such a
not the skit,
space,
but in the... Let's see, the little preview that we did,
the continued
then please let us know that you guys want a mini-series. I wish I would have scheduled this Q&A earlier on in the day, but I had work and Deja had to get her tooth pulled. So if any of you guys, later come and watch the stream, after the fact, then, oh, what am I playing? Ginger Cat. I am playing Dragon's Crown. It's a beat-em-up Dungeons and Dragons game. Unfortunately, it's very underrated, in my opinion. It's underrated. I really wish that there would have been more to it, but the person who worked on this is the same person who worked on Odin Spear I cannot say this word, but he worked on Odin Spear game, and it's in the same style. And he's also known for drawing food. That's one of the things he's known for, aside from the over-exaggerated body proportions of the characters. I learned how to draw food by looking at some of the works in his games. So, yeah, this Q&A stream is mostly focused on, our animations on our YouTube channel, but feel free to ask questions about this game too. So, yeah, this is Dragon's Crown. It's a pretty fun game if you're looking for maybe
you turn around.
maybe Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em up. I just wish they gave us more options to choose regarding to which path will you take, and many other choices in the game. I'm playing with Fighter Story.
Lost their lives
So let's see. Regarding Dragon's Crown, me and my sister love to play games that can inspire us to do different backgrounds when it comes to our works, because in the Alatron video, I did hate the fact that the backgrounds were just outright terrible. Even in the not Crimson Fatalist, the Fatalist video, the Fatale Survival video, the backgrounds, in my honest to God opinion, was not up to par. Now, the only reason why we were able to do the backgrounds the way we did is because we used the Clip Studio assets in our backgrounds, and it was just easier that way. But I just realized that as much as it was being easier, it just it felt robotic. Like in the background of this game. Oh, what's the underrated game? Hold on, let me check the underrated. Let me see. I'm genuinely curious about the underrated game, because me and my sister, we just love underrated games. And underrated games is like, they're like hidden gems. They don't get mainstream, but sometimes it's for the best, because sometimes too much popularity can be a bad thing. I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve to be popular, but too much of it can be a bit of a Let me see. So, let's see. Oh, Dragon's Crown is one of my favorite underrated games. Hold on, let me check the chat because it's cutting off. Hold on. Yeah, it's cutting off. I would like to see. It's not showing me because I'm genuinely curious about the underrated game. Hold on. The underrated game. It's a pop-up game. Hold on, let me try and see if I could just see it, because it's not giving me the options to see the chat, because well, I'm a pop-up dungeon game. Well, how does it go? I'm genuinely curious about pop-up dungeon games. Like I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I was looking for a game it's called Pop-Up Dungeon. Oh, I hope it's not like Neverwinter. I don't mind Neverwinter. The Neverwinter I play is the free version of Neverwinter, but I heard that everybody liked Neverwinter Nights. Let's see. And there was this other pop-up dungeon game, or this beat 'em up side scroller game that I saw that somebody was playing. But I'll eventually probably go around to playing that game in the future. But getting back to other underrated games that we get our inspirations from, Omen Sight is a very underrated game. The Pathless is a very underrated game. Gravity Rush, well, granted, the first Gravity Rush, was so, known for being on the PlayStation Vita, and I guess that's where it slightly got popular, but it wasn't as mainstream as, say, God of War, Uncharted, Infamous. Another underrated game that I feel is very beautiful. You click where you want to go. Oh.
Here they come.
That's interesting. Celeste. Where have I heard that game before? Where have I heard of it? Because I could have sworn I've heard of the game Celeste. But let me look it up real quick. The best way to, in my opinion, the best way to give underrated games love is fan art. And that's the Oh snap! Speaking of depression and anxiety, an underrated game that I see. Let's see. Hey Dage. Yeah, she can only talk in grunts, but would you be alright if maybe we would have a chance to do commissions in case if people were interested in commissions? Or would you be a little bit too nervous that you don't feel that you would capture their image of? Okay, well, we'd be willing to do commissions for fan art as long as it would get posted and such to help get these games. Because my sister, she loves to make fan speed art. Just check our DeviantArt. But let's see. See, this is what I was talking about with her being completely have complete lack of trust in herself. She's actually very good at doing fan art. She just has anxiety and I see. Another game, but another game that, in my opinion, was honestly the underrated game that we would never play again is either Rime or Remade, spelled R-I-M-E. It's a beautiful looking game, and I love the message. It's just I can't play it again because, in my opinion, it's the saddest game I've ever played. Let's see, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. We love the beauty of.
It seems large enough to contain another ocean.
Lots of the games that inspire us in our art or inspire us to do better in our art oftentimes have bad or bleak endings, like Nier Automata, Nier Replicant. Let's see, there was another one. Oh, Odin Sphere is another one of those games who, like, it starts off. It was one of those games. It's funny because sometimes, art can be the same way. But another thing that also inspired most of our artwork, or at least how we go about it, or the methods that we use. Let's see. Manga. We also use art books, or at least look at art books of video games, like Bayonetta's art book or Gravity Rush's art book. Bayonetta 2 especially. Bayonetta 2, Alright, thanks for joining the chat, Ginger Cat. I should start shouting people out more often in the chat. I'll try. I'm trying to level up a friend. Alright, see ya. But, let's see. Bayonetta 2, yeah. That art book was my favorite art book to actually go through. It actually inspired, basically most of our fan art. Now, yeah, we won't post fan art to YouTube unless, it's wanted. Like, if you want to see a speed paint of some fan art, please let us know.
Which path will you
if you want to see, let's say, if you want to ask us for a commission, please let us know. Maybe once a month we will probably ask for maybe
that pass through the area.
you know, commissions. We don't want to ask for you guys for too many commissions, since we all know that, you know, everybody has stuff they need to do. Yeah, and we want to make sure that we would be able to deliver as well. See, so regarding what I was saying before, yeah, art books really do help you improve, and it comes to, yeah, don't copy art books, just get inspiration from art books. But it also helps to, yeah, she's mumbling in the back. I can barely hear her, but I can understand a little bit. It's just that it would be awkward if she tried to speak on this mic. But what she's saying is that sometimes it always don't have to be art books. You know, sometimes you could, you know, use the documentaries, because there's a documentary of how they did Bayonetta. There's a documentary about how they did certain games like God of War. You can get inspired.
The tentacles grasp hold of the mast. If this continues, the ship will capsize.
But Bayonetta was one of those games that we definitely, you know, liked the artwork, and I guess it had more to do with you know, it was brighter in Bayonetta 2, in my honest opinion. And that's why I feel that Bayonetta 2, you know, looks better than Bayonetta 1. Some people may disagree, and it's fine. But I just personally like the designs that they did. They went out with the outfits, or at least some of the new designs of Bayonetta and such, and the characters. Either that or everything just was very, very bright. Even though I'm not getting questions, which is fine, I am going to try and explain to the best of my abilities, you know, a little bit of our methods. Let's see. So let's talk about a little bit more about the fight that really gave us traction. Was the Umu fight scene. Now, we did answer some, you know, questions. We even got some feedback on that fight scene, and your feedback was really appreciative. So what was it that with techniques that we use in the Umu fights? The blur tool. Blur always gives the impression of speed. So if you want a character to appear fast, don't be afraid to use blur lines. Let's see, there is...
It's my turn.
But depending on which software you use, you could be able to add blur lines into the fight. So let's say a character is running and such, you know, they're running, which is cool, but let's say they're running really fast, you add blur lines, and you can't do this.
Its tentacles around stalactites and is trying to destroy the cave.
Oh, I figured out the resolution on how to use it. Unfortunately, it just, you know, it's now on my part to actually make sure that my art doesn't look like pixel art. Pixel art is fine too. It's just that's not the look that I'm going for. If it was the look I was going for, then I would not have minded at all. But it does make me a little bit self-conscious to look at my art and then it looks so choppy compared to clean lines. So it also helps what kind of pen you use and the pen pressure that you have on the software to be able to
the kraken that had been terrorizing the
let's say have clean lines. Some people do, you know, line work with the one stroke lines, and other people, whenever they do line work, they do rugged lines. If you want your artwork to look clean, you know, you use the quick line strokes that you see that done in some speed paint videos. And if you are going for a rugged look, then you know that you would have to use the quick rugged lines. Let's see, because I know I use a real G pen for everything. So whenever I'm not going to use the real G pen, I use let's see. The curve tool. Yeah, that's what I use. Unfortunately, I don't like using it because now when looking back at it, because that was what the whole Umu fight was made with. It was made with the curve tool, the anime curve tool. And in my opinion, looking back at it, it just seemed like a little bit of a lazy way to, do it instead of use the clean strokes. But granted, we were, trying to save up time.
This is so delicious.
Now some animation studios do it, because I did see a video of, say, the people behind the scenes at Naruto using the curve tool and such, which is cool that, they would use such a simple method. It's just that it can be kind of time consuming if, let's say, you don't like how the line, juts out and such, which would happen a lot when it came to some of the things that I would make regarding the Umu fight, like especially with Ghost Horns. Like, that was so terrible how I would accidentally get the Ghost Horns inconsistent with one another. Or let's say I would use the curve tool on the tip of the horns, and the horns would look spiky, or the horns would look like too round, like almost like, if I had to describe it, I guess those little nub teeth that you'd be seeing in some cartoons instead of regular straight line teeth. But that's just one of the things that makes me ashamed to use the curve tool. Not saying that you can't use the curve tool when it comes to animating or, say, doing your artwork. Hey, if you do what's easier for you. But, we're working on trying to do just straight, clean line work. That way, we won't have to, worry about crafts and such. So, the video that I am working on, it's a Monster Hunter video. Oh snap, I should not have said that, but it's a Monster Hunter video. And it's going to be made, or at least, oh no, dang it. But it's going to be animated using the, quick stroke, the line stroke method, as opposed to the curve tool. Because this animation that we're working on currently is going to be made with, the curve tool. But I'm trying out a new method to see if it's possible to animate by using straight lines, and if it will make a difference in how the animation looks. Now let's see. So before I get distracted again, because before I get distracted again, let me talk about the animation regarding, let's see, there wasn't the animation regarding, I've done some, so why can't I remember? It's just been a minute since I've been at Clip Studio, or at least at my computer to draw, so bear with me if I can't remember quite, some of my works, because I haven't been around my works too often to remember some of the details behind our works. Let's see. So, let's see, we're talking about, what's going on in the new video that we're working on. Now, you've seen a preview of the video that we started. It's regarding these two characters. Now, the two characters in this video that we are animating, and we're almost finished with it. I know I've said that a million times, but we are very close to finishing it. But the two characters are basically just original characters that Deja made one time in a portfolio once. But the thing is, she decided that she would put them in this animation. So that's what this animation is about. This is going to be starring these two characters. Now, there is going to be a part 2 that's going to happen after the events in this first one, but we're not going to spoil too much. But when you see the first one, or at least when Deja finally gets finished with this video, then, we're going to do another Q&A just to see what you guys think, what could be improved on. And wait, where's the thief? He must have left. Oh, well. Oh, there he is. Get him. But yes, we are going to basically, when we finish that video, we're going to make another Q&A. We'll make another Q&A we just want to know how we could improve each and every time. We do want to hear how, or if you guys like the videos regarding our animations, but most importantly, I do want to see ways in which we could improve. Because I do, criticism is, the best form of,
A
improving.
gate this solid cannot be destroyed without a massive
Let's
cannon.
see,
Use the King's Army's cannon to breach it.
now, tutorial videos. I'd be willing to do tutorial videos, for certain methods, like, let's say, there's a scene when Quo is fighting against Umu, and he does what I like to call a savage bypass. I don't know if it's the actual name of it, but I like drawing characters. Oh. Thank you for that, Tony Society. And I hope, sorry, but I hope you will get. I wish you all the best in the future as well. It has been a long day, and once again, I'm sorry if you're I'm sorry if you're one of those people who watch the stream, or at least meant to watch. If you're watching in the future. Now this is me from the past. Sorry if you were looking forward to the stream and then didn't get a chance to see it because we did it so late. There's a lot going on at work, so I would have been able to do the stream earlier, but a lot of things happened. And I guess it's kind of obvious what happened, but I promise it won't happen again. That's not bad. But let's see.
They are targeting the cannon. Kill off the enemies before they can destroy it.
Okay, now I can find my sword. Oh, there. But
You see cracks forming in the venerable gargoyle gate.
But so let's see. What was I at? Sorry. But let's see. I'm trying to remember. God, it's hard to remember my place because it's been a minute since we actually did a video like this. And I was honest to God looking forward to using my computer to capture my screen so I could draw in the background. But it's honest to God hard to focus on it like that.
The fight will continue until the fortress is regained.
You know what? I got a different idea.
As much as you personally can.
Let's see. I'm gonna continue, and I should have returned to town. I don't know why I did that.
In the catacombs,
quick,
stark
one
white
moment.
bones
Sorry.
are strewn about the
I'm gonna
ground
head back.
as far as the eye can see.
So
You obtained the
I did not gain any experience points.
you obtained the black talisman.
But getting back to the Umu animation, that's where I was at. So there was the savage bypass that Kroll did. Believe it or not, it was the first time we've ever done, say, an animated effect like that. But it basically is when, let's say, a great example is when, if anybody plays Super Smash Brothers, Kirby slices through the halberd, or at least, not the halberd, but through the giant armada that Ganondorf and Bowser were leading when in regards to against these Super Smash Heroes, and this is in Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
You need
And there
3
was this
more
little-
talismans to defeat the ancient dragon.
Okay. But anyway, there was this a line that came after, and it just looked really cool because, that just shows that how precise the cut was. That's what that line, represents. And we had to do it for the first time. We've honestly seen that maneuver also done in Skullgirls, another game that we like playing. It's done by Valentine, and it's literally called Savage Bypass, or her Flatliner. That's what it's called, the Flatliner. Another time we've seen that maneuver done is Gravity Rush. It's when Cat and in Gravity Rush 2, but it's when Cat and Raven use I believe it's called Spiral Claw, and they both drill at their opponents, whatever it is, and usually it makes a cutting motion as if it's slicing through whatever they're hitting. And sometimes it is a blunt attack where they just knock an item back or an opponent back. Let's see. One of the things that I also practice in regarding to a new technique in our animations is regarding, say, trying to make the characters feel a lot more expressive. Like during the animated music video Deserving of Life, they are vessels, and most of the time they don't have, emotions or expressions to show. So to make them appear like they're alive, sometimes it helps to work on the background, because sometimes backgrounds give a little bit of insight as to how characters are feeling. Say, for example, a sunset, or like one of those touching moments, like when in My Hero Academia, when All Might and Midoriya were having their little moment, and it was dusk, I believe the sun was going down. It gave that homely, warm feeling, even though the sun was setting and such. Yeah, they were emotional. Well, Deku was emotional, but composition of the background can also help bring out the emotions of what characters are feeling. So in the Deserving of Life video, there was a scene that had the vessels out doing things other than, being vessels. One was the vessel sitting on the dock, and there was sunlight. Then others, they were sitting on a bench enjoying each other's company, even though they can't necessarily look expressive. The background is supposed to give that image or that feel of what the characters are thinking on the inside. And the reason why we're practicing this a lot is because in our next video, we are going to be focusing heavily on Hollow Knight-based characters, such as, let's say, Quirrell. Let's say if Quirrell makes another appearance. Well, it's heavily implied that many of the characters in Hollow Knight are actually wearing masks. They don't have any visible mouths, with the exception of a few characters. So we would have them probably be a lot more expressive with either hand movements, or even have the backgrounds reflect how they're feeling, just to make them feel a lot more live. And this is definitely going to play a factor in the case if we can't get any voice actors. Once again, this is me from the future speaking, or no, from the past speaking, in case you stumble upon this stream in the future. But basically, this is a Q&A, and again, I'm so sorry for starting this Q&A very, very later on in the day, when people aren't awake. But what I was hoping to discuss is stuff regarding our animations, like the composition, or let's say, techniques, or if you guys would like any tutorials on how to do some of the techniques or inspirations for it. So here's what's gonna happen if you do miss the stream. If you did miss the stream, you can have your questions and we will answer them in the bottom. We've never done a Q&A before, and this is kind of not how I was expecting it to go. I did plan a few drawings that I wanted to do if I would have streamed this on my computer, but we did not have a lot of time to download it because it would have taken 2 hours to download it on my shoddy computer, and it would have taken me a while to figure it out, and I did promise it today, so we're going about it the video game route. So every time we do one of these games, we will probably show an underrated video game, at least until we get the hang of it. But let's see. So I'm just going to go over the list of some of the animations that we've done that we have been either really proud of or really disappointed of, and I'm going to go over them. So let's go over all of the videos that we did. I'm going to give a brief little bit of description over, and these are only for animated videos. So the fan-made Hollow Knight clip. believe it or not, this clip is actually a portfolio piece from Deja back in the past. If you guys want to, I just probably implore you guys not to, because this makes my sister uncomfortable. Want to ask us about how art school was like? I'm definitely more apt to answer, say, newbies who aren't sure if they want to go to art school or not, but feel free to, ask. The second one is the Hollow Knight fan animation trailer, Rough. That was only 2 seconds. It was the starting point of the Hollow Knight Umu fight, and it was, believe it or not, one of those animations that we did without any real planning in the beginning, because we just started with this animated skit, and believe it or not, we build the animation around this skit alone. And that's why, as much as, this video got a lot of views, I honestly feel that it could have been better. Now, the Hollow Knight head turn tutorial. One of my biggest regrets with this tutorial is that it wasn't in the same quality as the Hollow Knight fan animation trailer, Rough. So I apologize, but basically it's a tutorial on how to do the ghost in regarding his head turn. If you are interested in looking at the video and seeing how I did it, then please, go check that video out, and please feel free to, show us your progress if once we find a way for you guys to DM us or PM us, however they do it. The next video, how we felt after hearing Alatreon being announced. This was basically a little video showing our internal monologue or our internal struggle when Alatreon was announced for Monster Hunter, because we do play Monster Hunter, we do play other games other than Hollow Knight. But one of the things that I regret about this one was the quality, because it was 2 people animating, and this was when, our flaws, in our animation were shown, but it seems like we ignored it, and it finally did show up in the Umu fight. The next video we did was the Hollow Knight Rough impending battle animations. Sadly, this is actually one of the videos that I'm not proud of, at all, because I feel like the only thing new about it was the fact that it showed that Umu was there. This was before we actually got good at, trailers and such. So, yeah, not my favorite one. Fatalis Arrival animation was another one we worked on. In context, it takes place after the Alatreon fight, and it's basically another one of those videos where a new monster gets announced, and this is just how we honestly feel about it. Why did we choose the music that we did? Well, in another Q&A video, we could go into any details, or if you want your questions answered right now, don't be afraid to, ask questions in the comment section below. Let's see, so, the Hollow Knight animation update. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, I hate the thumbnail because it's actually misleading. What it is, we're playing Gravity Rush, and we're, updating people about the animation, what's going on at the time, before we finally, close the video off. I would not be surprised if that got, a lot of hate, and I'm sorry for it. We will find a better way that, to stream, to connect with you guys, as opposed to, using video games to stream, because I honestly feel that this isn't necessarily a good way to go about, communicating with you guys in regarding, things that, you are interested in. Like, you don't want to see me suck at this game. You probably want to see me draw, and we will get to that point, but it just takes a minute. Hollow Knight fan animation, the Umu fight. This is the fight that we finally did manage to do with Quirrell and Ghost versus Umu. You guys gave a lot of good feedback on this video, honestly, because I know audio is an important thing now, and we're working on trying to find ways, to make our audio even better in the future, so what happened with the Hollow Knight will not happen again. Now, the new Hollow Knight video sneak peek. Oh my god. Oh, that was the first ever speed paint on the channel. Unfortunately, with how the video turned out, I feel it was misleading, and if it was, I apologize. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the sneak peek video of the new Hollow Knight video, and then look at the Hollow Knight AMV Deserving of Life, and you'll see, or maybe not see what I'm talking about. Going over comments and feedback. Now, it was basically a bunch of speed paints we did together. Okay, Dejo did the speed paints, majority of the speed paints. You can see why she takes forever when it comes to animating. She makes a lot of attention to detail, but she prepared those speed paints, and those speed paints, we were just going over comments and feedback. But excuse me, but we appreciated all the comments and the feedback. It's easy to focus on all of the love, but we wanted to focus on all of the bad too, because at least from when we were in art school, it was easy for people to focus on the good and such. Now granted, our situation was a bit iffy, but that's probably why people went about talking about all the good before the bad. So I would appreciate to hear the bad first, then talk about the good later. I'm not going to go into details why, but if you want to know, just I guess ask in the comments below. Any questions that jump to mind when you look at this stream, please, just ask it in the comment section below. That way I could probably word it better, as opposed to me being a stuttering mess right now. Now, the Hollow Knight AMV Deserving of Life. This was a music video done entirely by Deja regarding the Hollow Knight. Now, I know it probably didn't get that popular like our other videos, because people probably weren't expecting a music video, which I understand, because I feel like the speed paint was a little bit misleading, because I did that on my own, but, so why did we choose the music? A little bit of spoilers if anybody did not play Nier Automata, but if you did play Nier Automata, and you haven't gotten to this part, I recommend you skip ahead, or at least, move forward, because I'm not going to stay on this a little bit too long, but long story short, there's this secret room that you could go into. Not the ones that was made by the modder, but there's a secret room after you beat all of the Colosseums. Like if you beat the one in the forest, the desert, and then in the flooded city, then in the amusement park, a floor will open up, and it will be the story of Plateau. I think 1728 was his number, or 1428, or 47. And all I know is it had a 7 in it. And in this, amusement park, and when you learn about a Plateau, a music video will play. And you will learn about Plateau's story. And Plateau, this song really much describes, the androids. The music video is beautiful. And, I felt like, or at least Deja felt like, it really did fit in with Hollow Knight. If you don't know what she's talking about, I recommend you play Nier Automata, not to get that music video, because, it's a little bit, tedious to get the music video, especially if you haven't gotten, if you haven't completed all the Colosseums. But just play the game alone, watch the music video called Square Equinix, or Amazarashi, that's the name of the artist, and type in Deserving of Life. It's in Japanese, I believe it's said, like, I can't say it, but, not gonna butcher it, but, yeah, listen, go to the music video, play Nier Automata, and, or at least watch somebody play Nier Automata, at least all the cutscenes, the game cutscenes, and the important parts, and then, come back and hopefully you'll see why Deja thought it fit. If not, then I guess it's our poor choice in music for this video. Queen's Garden Sneak Peek. Deja worked on that entirely by herself. And when she did work on it, we were supposed to have voice work, but we didn't have a mic. Hollow Knight, loners who found each other. Okay, so Deja also animated this. Deja animated this, and if you watch the music video regarding, the Hollow Knight in the Deserving of Life music video, these characters do make an appearance, and you will hear, or at least see their story within that video. Deja honestly, cried making the Hollow Knight Deserving of Life music video when it came to telling their story within this music video and such. So this is a little bit of happiness, that she just wanted to draw regarding these two and their, dubbed the loners who found each other. Anyway, so on to the next video. Animation update. Yeah, I'm bad at naming, but this is basically just to give you guys an update. We, again, do not like it to when we leave long gaps, or at least long periods of time, without letting you guys know what we're up to, or what we're doing, or if we're even close to finishing the animation. So, it was just a small little update. If anyone doesn't know what the song is playing, it's from Drakengard 3, the prologue to Drakengard, the first game, if people still consider Drakengard 2 non-canon, since Yukataro didn't write it, but, Drakengard 3 came before Drakengard, which came before Nier, which came before Nier Automata, but that song that's playing in the video is from Drakengard 3. It's quite a game, an underrated game in my opinion. Not a very popular one, I guess, if people are interested in blood and violence and cussing. Next drawing. Two Vessels speed paint. Okay, so this is a speed paint that Deja did regarding the fate of the loners who found each other. Again, if you watch the video, you will see their story, but this is them in their, final moments together. I do not know the name of the song, but it's the song that's playing in the background is the song that Deja loves, because she still listens to Vocaloid. Now, the next video. The Godless Priestess and the Godseeker. Now, those who play Hollow Knight know who the Godseeker is. Those who don't play Omen Sight do not know who the Godless Priestess is. I believe her name is Vera, but it's an underrated game that me and Deja played at one point. Okay, Deja played at one point, but it's like Groundhog Day. Imagine a game that's like Groundhog Day. Because, you play a scenario and you have to try to do something different each time. And each time you mess up, you gotta try again. It sounds repetitive, it is a little bit repetitive, but, that's kind of like the theme with this game. It is an interesting game. Excuse me. But, it is an interesting game. The other games that they make that are kind of fun is called Stories, because it has many alternate endings as well, alternate choices, even though you replay the same scenario. If you don't like repetitiveness, these games probably aren't for you, but, from story-wise, it was entertaining to say the least. Now, Grimchild on the mic. Deja always wanted to do a video regarding when, Grimchild. I always wanted to do a video also regarding either Grimchild or Nightmare King Grim, because they're fan favorites, and who doesn't love Grimchild or Nightmare King Grim or regular Grim? So this was her interesting way to basically put him in the animation, or at least give him some screen time, because it may be a minute before you see Grimchild or Nightmare King Grim show up in one of our animations. Not saying it's not going to happen, but it may take a minute because, we still have to make sure that our animations are good, size, or at least a good length apart. Or not a good length apart, but a good length to consider it so entertaining. Now, let's see. I guess that's the final video. Oh, wait. We still have shorts. There was a Hornet speed sketch that they just did. She was just practicing on getting used to, or getting to get the feel for many of the anatomy regarding, the characters in the world of Hollow Knight, because many of the characters in the world of Hollow Knight, or at least those who look like Coral, those who look like Ghost and Hornet, they have stick limbs, kind of like blobby limbs and such, and their legs could basically go anywhere on that outfit or on their body, given the fact that they have no visible joints, as long as it's in its spot, like with Grim or Grimchild. But we'll talk more about that, later when we cross that hill, whenever Grim does make an appearance in one of our animations. So that's all of the videos that we've worked on for right now. So, yeah, the Q&A, I did hope to do this during the day, but, stuff happened, and we wound up doing it very late. If anybody wants to do another Q&A, or at least a community Q&A, then please let us know. I feel we could have done this a whole lot better. I didn't intend for it to be, a bad live stream, but with what we got right now, this is how we're going to do it. But when we improve in the future, in which we promise we will get better for you guys in the future, that you won't see, you won't see a video game stream. You'll be seeing us, drawing. So now that we have some, assumed Q&A, these are some questions that I would like to ask you guys as the fans before I head off. My question for the fans is, once we get done with the animation called The Queen's Garden, would you like to see more starring those characters, or would you like to see something different? My next question is, would you like to see fan art, or at least would you like us to do fan art commissions through our Patreon? If you would like us to just, do fan art speed paints, please let us know. Or if you would like a personal commission and, have it sent to you, then please just let us know on our Patreon. But that's, just a food for thought. You don't have to. My third question, I believe, is if you guys would be wanting to see more speed paints, or would you not like the speed paints? And if you do like the speed paints, how many speed paints would you be willing to put up with? Or would you rather us do fan speed paints, or would they have to be speed paints based off of Hollow Knight? Since a lot of our fans are Hollow Knight, but when I say fan speed paints, I mean like from any of the games that we like playing, or underrated games such as, let's say Journey, Flower, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, those types of games, those are the stuff that we do. If you would like a commissioned speed paint based off of a franchise, we'll try to do it to the best of our ability, because, we draw things in our way, but we'd be willing to accommodate you guys, by any means. I believe my fourth question regards if you guys would like to see more tutorials on how we do it, or how to get better at drawing your art. Now, I would be willing to do it. It's just I personally feel that, Deja would be more fitting for that, because in my opinion her skill level is higher. So don't be afraid to ask us for, when I say ask us, I mean ask Deja for tutorial videos on how she goes about animating, drawing things, or working on the craft. Now, my fifth question would be, would you guys like to see illustrations on this channel? Just still moving pictures to admire, or would you rather us post them on our Patreon? My sixth question is, my sixth question is, would you guys be upset if we posted stuff other than Hollow Knight on here? I'm not saying that we aren't doing animations. No, what I'm saying is, let's say we're doing a Hollow Knight animation, a fan animation, and then let's say we decided that we were going to do maybe a Monster Hunter animation next. Would that make you guys upset, or would you be totally cool with it as long as we continue on to do Hollow Knight? My 7th question is, do you guys actually like, the little short clips or the little short videos that we plan on making? They're just gag Vine videos with probably fan animation or voiceovers and such. Not like our voiceovers, but like how people do the animatics with the voiceovers from Vines, that sort of thing. Would you guys like to see more of those, or would you not like to see any of that? And would you like to see something original? My 8th question is not regarding the skits, but more so regarding, Jesus, it was on the tip of my tongue. Let me remember it. Here it is. So, another one of the things that I was meaning to ask about is, would you guys want to see comics? Like, some people do comics. We're not going to do any dubbing, but would you like to have us make the comics? So that way, maybe, eventually, they could probably get passed around and someone can dub it. Like a funny comic dub of Hollow Knight, and etc., and then maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, Gabeleth, I'm probably saying their channel's name wrong, but they do a lot of cool voiceovers of comics. Same thing with Siege, I'm saying his name wrong too, but, all I know is voice acting channels, let's say that, voice acting channels to, overlook it, or at least voice over it. So would you guys like to see those, or stick to animation? The 9th question that I have is that, if we were to make a webtoon, would you like to see us animate a trailer for the webtoon? And, the final question is, if we did make a webtoon, would you be interested in us posting some of our progress on the channel? Because we will be posting our progress, every chance we get, but would you guys mind if it would be posted here? And that's for if we do it in the future. Those are just some questions that I just have for you guys. If you guys are looking at this video, and if you guys made it to the end and if you did make it to the end, thank you so much for having the patience of for having the patience of Joe. So this is, let's see, not going to be the last live stream, but this is probably the last point I'm going to make before I head off. Once again, I'm really, really sorry for doing this live Q&A live stream so late in the day when many of you are probably asleep. So I hope you guys get a good night's rest, or at least a good evening if you are up at this time. And I hope to see you guys soon. And I really, really, really hope to see many of your questions in the comment section below. So please don't forget to ask. Anyway, this has been Gaming with Twins. We'll see you guys next time.